Hello everybody and welcome back to Baccalic Case. This is Skyflight44, aka Zek44, and today I'm playing Pokemon Stadium 1. And we're going to be doing the Pika Cup today because it's actually my favorite cup in the entire game. It has all of the best things. Low level, great, powerful Pokemon, great diversity and moves, actual challenge, and some awesome music. All three tracks are just some freaking awesome music. But since the last time I did a video, I actually did the Pika Cup on my just by myself. I was a little bit bored, but most of the Pokemon I actually pick are the ones I've picked from that, except for that Fearow, which was absolutely useless. I went and I'm gonna pick Gyarados because Gyarados can actually be a little bit of fun, use, but you don't really need it. However, you're definitely going to want to have a diverse team, and definitely you want to have a little bit of a good bit of move diversity in your actual team. Now, what is this, like, possibly the fourth time we've been using Kadabra and Haunter? No, third, because we couldn't actually use Kadabra and Haunter in the Petite Cup. I do know I used Ghastly. I don't know if I used Dabra, but I definitely did use Ghastly. That just shows you how useful they are. Kadabra is just pure power, but Haunter is just a little bit weaker Kadabra with a psychic weakness, but it has so much more move diversity than Kadabra. However, this cup is going to be basically you definitely want to sweep the first four the trainers. They're incredibly easy. They don't really have much diversity in their not so much diversity in their actual types, but diversity and their weaknesses. But you can just sweep them with like one type of attack, which has a bit. It definitely makes the earlier parts easy, but you definitely want those continues for later on. I don't use the continue this time, but you might. Especially that last fight, it's a bit of a bitch. And by that, I mean seriously, why? Game why? But, Kadabra is pretty much, once again, one of the best Pokemon we can actually use. However, see that 41 health that we actually have? HP 41. If that was one less, Kadabra would have sucked, because of a certain Pokemon later on that knows fucking Dragon Rage, which does always 40 damage to you. How? Pokemon Stadium 2 had actually prevented this problem in the Little Cup, in which there was a lot of Pokemon that had less than 20 HP, or 20 or less HP, because they were level 5, but you can't use Sonic Boom in that. You can't use Dragon Rage in that cup. Why can you use Dragon Rage when some Pokemon barely have over 40 health? I mean, really? 40 health gone with that one move. And again, this is pretty easy. You don't really have to do much thinking when it comes to these types, but for your actual Pokemon, you definitely want to emphasize speed and just power, and if possible, just trying to get a couple of levels up, like Pokemon level 16 instead of 15, and maybe a few of them level 17. If you're going to be going for a Pokemon level 17, 18, which you kind of want to do, you want to use every single level possible, but definitely get Starmie. Starmie is one of the best Pokemon to actually use through this. And possibly definitely the best Pokemon you can actually use here. And that would definitely be one of the Pokemon you have at level 18. Good speed, good special, has the ability to have Psychic, Surf, Ice Beam, all the good crap you need. Not to mention Thunderbolt. And also Starmie, and this actually has Substitute, which is actually really cool. I was thinking about using Substitute later on. However, I was pleasantly surprised that, and by that I mean I wasn't pleasantly surprised, that there was another move used instead of the move I anticipated. And it nearly cost me a continue. But this is easy crap at the moment. Ivysaur, actually, if I had Psychic on that, Ivysaur would have went down. You could probably just sweep most of all of this with Starmie if you actually really wanted to. Which actually you probably do want to do in round 2 with one of your own. However, it only has a Bubble Beam, Substitute, Psyshock, was it? No, it wasn't Psyshock. Psywave, I mean. Psyshock's one of the later gen moves, and it also has Thunder. You're gonna want to use all of its moves, except Psywave, because it sucks. Oh, why do people even... Why do they have Psywave to begin with? It just... It's another move based upon your, it deals damage based upon your level, and those types of moves aren't really all that useful. It can do more than just your base level. I believe it can go up to like 1.5 times your base level in power, which actually does make it sort of useful, possibly. However, it's not affected by your actual type. And it doesn't have 100% accuracy. It has maybe like 80% accuracy. I don't know the exact number, but it more often than not for me misses, which sucks, I gotta admit. Not useful. If you're actually really gonna bring a Pokemon into here, get Starmie, get Surf, Psychic, definitely Thunder or Thunderbolt. And if you're either bringing Ice Beam or Substitute, if you feeling kind of risky, you might want to get Substituted in there. The more Starmie the faster Starmie is, and the faster it is, and the more damage it can do, and the different types of special moves it can actually use will help greatly in the final ones, because you're going to be facing a lot of Pokemon that kind of fall under those weaknesses. And trust me, that Dragonair will kick your ass if you're not going for a weakness or for what I did. But there's also that Tentacruel that you're going to have to face later on. That thing's special. Amazing, not to mention it's at level 20. Trying to beat it down with Thunder or Psychic will still take you a while to beat. Trust me, there is some pretty just annoying little shits later on. However, the beginning's actually not all that hard. Again, because of the just the weaknesses. The only thing that's actually possibly going to be a problem is that Drowsy. But even then, that Drowsy basically only uses Hypnosis, Dream Eater, and once one of your Pokemon actually goes asleep, all you really need to do is change out. You're gonna get a free turn. It's automatically gonna be doing Dream Eater. It's not that very hard to figure out what a Drowsy is actually going to do in this game. Really, Hypnosis, I get it's 55% accuracy. It's a pretty much 50% chance, so just flip a coin. Let's see if you're actually gonna go to sleep or not. I know Pokemon is heavily based on predicting what your opponent's going to do, and what, you know, they're trying to put you to sleep. They probably have Dream Eater. You can predict what they're gonna do, but you don't really want to leave stuff up to chance in these games. Even though later on, especially in the Elite Four, I leave a lot of my strategy with the rental Pokemon is based upon chance. Going and using Thunder Wave and Confuse Ray. You don't really want to use anything else, because leaving the getting the status effect up to chance is not useful, but having to rely on the status effects is kind of iffy, I gotta admit. But at least then, Haunter and Kadabra still definitely have Confuse Ray and Thunder Wave. And it will help you. Trust me. God damn, I hate you, Lance, and your goddamn Lapras. Why? I lost that Lapras twice when trying to beat the Elite Four not too long ago after Part 3. Granted, I wasn't trying to record it then. I was just trying to, you know, beat it, so because you can actually win Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium and bring them back to Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, and Yellow. You can actually, the actual Pokemon you would actually win. I don't know if there's possibly more than what I can say, but it was all the rare Pokemon that you could only get like one of in the actual game itself. I believe Eevee was one of them, possibly one of these starters. The only ones I really got, like the few times I actually beat, was Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and what was it? I believe it was either Kabuto or Omanite. Again, all the Pokemon you could only really get one of, and the actual game, which is actually a lot of fun. I don't know if any of the starters are actually there, but if so, I believe it was the 8 Pokemon that you can only get one of, which actually makes it a lot of fun. You actually have a reward for beating the champion. It's so much fun just putting it onto Blue and all that stuff, and you have a second starter. That's amazing. The only one that's actually useful, though, like really useful, is probably Hitmonlee and Eevee, to be honest. Maybe Charizard. You know, if you give something like Swords Dance, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, and definitely no Slash, but possibly Fly would be a better move for it. There was actually one for the what was it called? The Pokecup, I believe. Actually has a Charizard very much like that. Mainly where I'm getting the good moves from in my mind, but this is the first battle that's actually possibly difficult. I beat the Raichu easily last time, but this time it came out first. I was actually trying to there's some Raichu in these games that has Surf. And I thought it was either here or it had to have been in Lieutenant Surge had to have it. I actually lost to Surge the last time I was actually trying to record it, and I lost to him. And it was mainly because I was preoccupied with the fear that one of these Raichus had Surf. And if it had Surf, because of Raichu's speed and its good special, probably would take out any of my ground-type Pokemon. So I was actually being quite paranoid, I will admit. But once you beat the Raichu, this battle's gonna go by fairly quickly. The Kingler is the only other Pokemon that you actually have to worry about. Its special isn't all that great. and it only knows Bubble Beam, so its water type moves aren't all that threatening, but it is a water type. And you could easily sweep this entire trainer if it wasn't for the Kingler. And I actually get lucky, even though I possibly might not have needed... Actually, I didn't get lucky. I thought that was the one I actually got lucky with the Thunderbolt. Had to have been later then. But what's left? A Mankey. Again, this was the same exact... you might actually possibly might go through the same exact some of these actual party choices are exactly the party choices that my opponents used when I originally actually did this like a few days ago. I wasn't surprised that the final guy used the exact same strategy as he did the first time I did it a couple of days ago. But this one was a bit, let's just say that. However, the fifth guy is of no real difficulty if you're not paranoid like me and almost lost 2 Pokemon to like damn Raichu. However, this guy is a bit harder to actually beat. There's a few Pokemon that I actually have. First of all, the types are just all over the place. Psychic type would actually be good, but that Wigglytuff is not that easy to beat with a Psychic type. You actually might want to use a Grass type, but most Grass types are also poison, so both that Ghastly and that Kadabra can also do some damage to you. You have your Water type, I have my Water types, but once again, there's just a bit of difficulty with what it has, or what the Hiker actually has. But that Rhyhorn is not to be trifled with. That's a level 20 Rhyhorn. Water attack's gonna go straight through it, but you are almost assured that thing has an electric, not electric type move. What was I thinking? Ground type move. Why did I even say electric? But first time I actually went through this, I used Bubble Beam, and it actually worked. He didn't change out, and it went down. This time, Seizure went out. However, what did I actually do here? Did I actually put it to... Yeah, I actually kept it Starmie. He brought out the Water type, thinking... and fully knowing that I was going to use a Water type move, but... I had an Electric type attack, so it didn't matter. Now he's not going to be bringing out that Rhyhorn. We all know that. However, the Wigglytuff is going to be a bit of a problem. However, I believe it only has normal type moves. It does have Reflect, and it's going to be using Reflect immediately. So, fighting type moves may not be the best solution. You don't actually have Machoke and all that. You don't actually have like the good fighting type Pokemon. So fighting type moves probably aren't the best idea. It has Mega Punch, and it definitely has Mega Kick. The thing has power to it, but it only has normal type moves for the most part. So Haunter can actually take it out easily, but I don't know why I didn't bring out Rhyhorn. I don't think the game's scared that I actually have Starmie, but that's actually one of the problems with the Haunter that's actually here. It feels weird not having Psychic on it. Haunter, you generally get Haunter because it's partially like a weaker Kadabra. Sometimes possibly a little bit stronger than Kadabra, considering That I don't know why that Arcanine she has makes me scared, but it kind of does. I don't really remember why. I haven't actually faced it in an incredibly long time, but it is actually kind of... It has to have something to make me scared of it. That Mr. Mime is bullshit. That Gyarados is strong because it's level 20, but it's definitely better than that Tentacruel. That Tentacruel is the bane of your existence. If not, it's that damn Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime will... That Mr. Mime will beat you. I'm kind of sure that Mr. Mime's going to beat you. It knows Psychic. It has Seismic Toss. It has Barrier. It might have Substitute. I don't know. But look how much damage a Thunder is going to do to Tentacruel, and I believe it's going to get a critical hit. Critical hit. And it only does about 2/3 of its health. Yeah. That move had 240 power, I believe. And it did that much damage. And Starmie's not no slack off when it comes to special either. It's actually really good. And then Tentacruel can still use moves like Surf, which can do a lot of damage. This isn't the easiest fight. Just think, this thing also has Wrap as well. And Wrap could very well be the bane of your existence as well. Tentacruel, you have to take that thing out quickly. Now, Mr. Mime... I always thought Haunter was speedy. Mr. Mime goes before Haunter. I'm thinking that might just because I might just be because I was actually using Self-Destruct. I don't know if Self-Destruct actually slows you down or not. I would have to actually go and check that. I don't think it does. But Haunter I've always thought of as being decent with its speed. Not to be out-quicked by Mr. Mime. Now the Mr. Mime is not fast enough to beat Kadabra. And both of you know Seismic Toss. So whoever's faster is going to beat the opponent. And Barrier, thank you for not actually attacking me, Mr. Mime. I do appreciate it. However, there's still one more Pokemon left. If this was Arcanine that was left, I still have Starmie. If this is Dewgong left, I would still have Starmie. For the most part, it can't use the Gyarados. Because the Tentacruel was level 20. You know for a fact it can't use the Gyarados because it would go over the level limit. However, and that's we got past the Tentacruel and the Mr. Mime. Whatever's left would not be a problem. However, the Arcanine might be a problem if you actually have, I believe it knows Dig. So, if it's possibly faster than Starmie, and Starmie it was your last Pokemon used, it has Toxic on it, there might be a problem, but that Dewgong isn't going to be that hard for Starmie to beat. Again, Starmie could sweep through most of this if it has moves like Surf, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt or Thunder. However, I would actually use Thunder because, like what was shown with the Tentacruel, actually using Thunderbolt wouldn't be all that useful. It takes 3 Thunders to actually beat the Tentacruel now. Thunderbolt would probably take 4. However, then again, you'd probably be using Psychic because of the stab boost. Huh. Oh well. Don't need to really worry about that. However, the next fight is bullshit. As I've already said, that Dragonair knows Dragon Rage. When I actually beat this a few days ago, I didn't really remember that. That kind of scared me, but actually I had a better time beating it last time than I did this time. Now, I've only played this once and got Eradicate to come out. If that Eradicate comes out, you know there's no Dragonair, you know this is easy. But look at the top Pokemon he has. Dragonair, Clefable, and Slowbro. None of them are known to being taken down in one shot, and each of them are known to being bitches to take out. Because they can do some damage, and they can also do status effects. And they're crap. Take out whatever you need. Definitely make it so that Haunter's gonna go before Dragonair, and that's gonna be very useful. Use self-destruct. Don't try to do anything. Use self-destruct. My first time doing this, I was actually lucky. I got a critical hit. However, this time I wasn't so lucky. But doing so, you actually can bring out Kadabra. Kadabra can beat this in one hit with Psychic at this moment. Kadabra's faster. If Haunter's faster, Kadabra's faster. You're gonna defeat the you're actually gonna defeat it quite easily. However, we don't have Haunter anymore, so that Clefable is going to be harder to take out. And also, we don't have Thunderbolt to actually help in taking out Slowbro. But taking out Dragonair is by far the biggest priority because of Dragon Rage. Look, Kadabra, 41 health. Take away 40 health, 1 health. Haunter, 42. Starmie, 47. The list goes on. I was lucky and I got a critical hit on that Clefable. Because this is the bitch thing about the first gen. Double Edge. Makes the Pokemon faint. It doesn't take damage. It doesn't take damage at all. Actually, what would have been nice was if you actually had Substitute with Kadabra, was actually use Substitute 3 times. The Clefable would actually take damage for each and every single one, taking maybe it wouldn't take much damage, maybe 10, and then using Psychic. It's not taking any damage for that, and that would have done like 13 damage to it too. That would have fainted it, which would have been nice. But if you have Starmie, the Slowbro can't win. It only has Water and Psychic type moves. It really can't do a damn thing. However, if you don't have an Electric type move, you can't do a damn thing to it either. But I actually get lucky. If you get one Thunder in, move on to Bubble Beam or Psy-Wave. Even though, if you're gonna do Psy-Wave, you might as well do Thunder again because of the accuracy thing. I only did Bubble Beam because I wanted to, knew it couldn't take me out in more than like 3 hits. It would have to take a few shots out of me, but Bubble Beam could take it out in at least 2 shots. And I wanted to make sure my moves hit. Oh well. Well, we could actually have used again, a few of those moves could actually have been changed if you really wanted to. Having something like Thunder Wave, Psychic on some of the Pokemon, Arcanine having, what was it, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. And if you have like Pokemon Silver, you know all those TMs that you could actually use in this game. Send it over, bring it back, it's instant awesome. But that's about it. And the next thing we're gonna do is probably the Prime Cup starting finally. So see ya, everybody.